Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach round 14 preview. We've got a little bit to talk about. It'll probably be a bit of a shorter preview episode because we're going to do obviously this video and then there'll be another video, sort of a pre-lockout video, which I've been doing lately anyway, but I'm definitely going to do one this week just with Origin and the amount of ramifications that will come from Origin, basically. Because there's a lot that's at play depending how either side goes and depending on injuries and whatnot. It could prove costly or beneficial to many players. But let's go through the numbers for round 14. Let's just have a quick squiz at what we're rocking with and the potential trades we're looking at. So, dummy halves, obviously, Robson, again, I think he'll back up, but I'll keep Brayley to start for now. I'll start Robson because the Cowboys do play before the Knights. I'm still... I don't know. We'll look at dummy halves again. I don't think I'm going to trade Robson. Although if he doesn't back up, I could. I don't know. I don't want to waste trades in dummy half, though. I'm sort of like... Yeah, someone like a Brendan Hines is like... I gotta be honest, that was sort of always the play, going like two cheapy dummy halves, right? Like, I was happy to do it. Trade Robson down to Hands, free up like 400k. Like, it's not a bad little shout, but I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Front row forwards, obviously Terrell May does not play. Curran can switch with... Yeah, we'll go Henry for now. It's not the best, but that's fine. Both our front rowers are on the bench. I'm not expecting 70 odd for Liam Henry again this week, but hopefully Azayo and Liam Martin don't back up, so there's bigger minutes to be had for Liam Henry. Unfortunately, the Panthers had another pretty poor loss, I guess, last week with a lot of their players out. So I don't know. Maybe they do back up. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Terrell May, not reserve. Hughes, I don't want to reserve if I don't have to. Kai Pearce-Paul backing up, playing. Bryce Cartwright playing. Morgan Smithy's not, so we will switch in Ali Katoa. Beautiful. Beau Fermor will be playing, so we'll chuck a reserve on him. Tyron Wishart playing. Great to see. Dylan Brown, Lockie Galvin. You got to chuck the reserve on Lockie Galvin up against the Dragons. He's at 535. He's got a 0. Brother, he's fucking killing it, man. He's absolutely killing it, Lockie Galvin. Being an absolute revelation in the 5'8 department. Our back line. So, again, Holmes, we'll obviously switch in. Is he going to play? Maybe, maybe not. We shall see. I would expect he would. Hopefully he does. It would be a little bit annoying if Holmes does not back up, but we'll see when it comes. Kiraz playing, Ero playing, Armstrong playing at the moment. He obviously there's a chance that Armstrong drops out for the young gun Sharp, but again, wait and see. Drinkwater and Ruben Garrick, the man we bought in. So, our reserves, we got Garrick, Galvin, Fermor, and, we got Brayley as well. So we actually, so I've got 17. I've got Sam Hughes as like a backup for, I guess, I guess I've got Gagai as well. I've got Gagai. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. I want Fainu. I think Fainu... I want Fafita. And so, the initial plan was just get in Fafita for Crichton. Again, depending how Origin goes, though, that's the key thing. So, if... It's gonna all come down to this. So, if Queensland win... and there's obviously no, like, obvious injuries, then Fafita will come straight in for Crichton, because, like, if they win and no one's, like, injured, obviously Fafita, they're not going to bring Fafita in for game 2 if they won. But if this is where it gets tricky. So if Queensland lose, but if there's no injuries, I guess it depends, like, how the game goes. Like, if it's a tight game, it could go either way. I'd probably still go for Fafita. Because, like, you know, are they going to make mass changes if, like, they just lose a match, or, you know, their back rowers weren't too bad? Maybe, I don't know. And then the other scenario, obviously, if there's an injury, or if just, you know, if New South Wales win comfortably and maybe one of the back rowers has a bit of a shocker, then I probably won't get Fafita in. But, I mean, at the moment, I think Crichton for Fafita is too good to pass up. And I guess the other thing with Fafita is that, obviously, if he does make game 2, it's a bit annoying, but he'll still play. He'll still play 14 and 15 against the Rabbits and the Tigers, and then he'll miss 16, 17, and 19. So he'll still misses games, but honestly, you're going to want Fafita in the team regardless. And I think at that point, you just cop the games he misses. If it happens, it happens, but I think it's worth the risk in that case. And yeah, if someone picks up a niggle and he comes in, well, that's tough luck. That's what can happen. But you're gonna want him anyway. So yeah, he might miss a couple of games, but he is a keeper till the end. You can obviously you say the same thing about Crichton, but Crichton misses this game. He'll play 15. Should play it like back to normal, you would think. Then he misses 16. He's got the backup in 17 against the Tigers. So, I mean, like, depending on minutes, you wouldn't expect him to play the full 80. He might get rested. Plays 18. Has a bye in 19 anyway, and then a backup in 20. So, yeah, like, it just makes sense to get rid of Crichton and then bring you back in, like, round 21 would be ideal. But again, like, there's a lot to go in that situation. Like, depending, like, it's the only player I'd trade Crichton out for is Fafita. But yeah, if things don't go to plan, then I'm happy enough to keep Crichton, take a bit of a cash loss, and just hold him for the rest of the season, even with potential reduced minutes after the backup games. But yeah, that's that. And then Semi-Finu is the other guy. Now the question now, and I'm sort of, you know what I just thought of? We could probably go Sam Hughes to Finu. You know what? Let's actually just see if this works straight off the rip. We'll see if this works off the rip, and see if it can. I think it will. So Fafita comes in. We got a fair bit of cash. It uses a little bit, so we're gonna be. It might not actually. It might not. So then Hughes goes for what is Vanilla Blake 750? Well, I don't think it's quite. I think we're gonna be just off. Unfortunately. So, where is he? He's like 415. Do those trades. And then Smithies. Guess we got to use a boost, obviously. We'll use a boost. Doesn't have to be this week, obviously, as well. That's the other thing. But I'm just seeing if it works, like, instantly. So, I don't think it's going to quite. Yeah, by a fair bit. not quite. 100k off. I was like you could get fucking Joey Tarpany after their bye this week. You could afford him. He's been fucking 110 points, brother, in like base. Like, obviously he had some offloads and stuff, but holy shit, 110, my man, what the hell? he's at a nice price still, but I don't know. Do you get fucking Tarpany next week? Like, Tarpany is going to, where is it? So he's played 60, 63 minutes, 75 and 110. He plays 15, 16, 17, 18, misses 19 though, which is a little bit of annoying. Like, I don't hate going Tarpany over for Nrl Blake, honestly. Like, I don't know, for Nrl Blake, he did what he did last year. He scored plenty of tries. He started on fire. He's got a big break even. Hopefully, can he just not score a try this week and drop a bunch of cash? Like, we could, like, if he drops a bunch of cash, I still don't think it would quite work, like, doing it like this, but yeah, it's a good idea, I guess, that potential. But I think, I don't know, I still don't mind just holding Hughes for now, trading out Smithies for Fainu, and yeah, Crichton for Fafita, and just, yeah, holding Hughes. Obviously, he only played, it was a bit of an anomaly, obviously. The Dogs were winning pretty comfortably. There was talk, Gus came out and said that, Hughes has played decent minutes and they were giving him a bit of a rest, so I don't hate just holding him. Like, he's not going to play 15 minutes every week, so if he can just get back to, yeah, he's playing like close to 40 minutes, which is pretty good. He's pretty okay for your just like backup front rower. So I think, you know what? I think Smithy Stefanu, I think is just, I think is the best trade. I think is the trade of the round. Like, the issue with Fainu is still going to be the fact that the Tigers are not an attacking force, so he's still not necessarily going to score a bunch of tries, but obviously coming off, what do you get, like an 80 odd, he's got a low break even now, he's about to get on a bit of a run, like the scores obviously a bit affected with like a head knock and a bit of a niggle, so he hasn't quite, like, I've talked about it like from like week 7. I wanted him in the team, but just everything kept happening to him. Just no luck. Just something kept going wrong. You got sin binned and it was never really the right time. But coming off an 82, like just the run, like 14, 15, 16, 17. They missed 19, but that's fine. And then 18, 19, 20. Like, it's so good. Like, you definitely, I think he's, I don't think he's a must-have just because is he going to necessarily, like, score amazingly? Not necessarily, but I think for the versatility, dual to our front row forward with the bye coverage, I think it's good. I think it's very good. And Smithy's, honestly, he's starting to really fucking stink. Like, he's really stinking up, Morgan Smithy. So he's got to go. Morgan Smithy's got to go. So Fainu, I think he's an automatic trade. I think Crichton to Fafita, like I said, depending, is an automatic trade. So I will be using 2 trades again. But again, the 2 trades, it's not that bad because the trades are very good depth trades as well. They're good buy coverage, especially for Fafita if he doesn't fucking make Origin. Like, it'll be huge if he doesn't get in for like game 2 or 3. Like, he covers both those. He covers both, right? 16 and 19, I think. Or is it just one of them? No, they cover both. Yeah, so yeah, having Fafita for those would be massive, absolutely massive. But yeah, we'll see. So now, the fact that I got Fainu, I'd probably play Fainu over Brayley. Yeah, you'd play Fainu, I think. I prefer the upside there. The other question, so in this situation, well, fuck, then oh man, so what do I do? I think I just hold Gagai. Honestly. Like, he's probably going to lose cash. He's got a 70 break even. He's been going pretty goddamn terribly. It is a good matchup against the Titans, so he could get a couple of meat pies, but I'm not holding my breath for it. It's just the fact that, like, I could use a boost to get him out. And, like, so the thing is, I don't need... Like, honestly, I don't need to have 2 boosts. I've sort of come to that, like, understanding that I don't need to have 2 boosts. I guess also, if I don't have to trade Crine to Fafita, then I don't need to use a boost anyway. But I'm expecting that I am going to be trading Crine to Fafita. So, like, yeah, I don't think I have to use a boost. Or, like, I don't have to have 2 boosts. Like, you get 3 trades in the major buys anyway, so you're not going to need a fucking boost in the major buys unless you've really, like, shit's hit the fan. So, in that situation, I think it's, whatever. I think I just want to save 1 boost for, like, the probably last few rounds of the season if there's some big restings and stuff. Obviously, if I could have 2 boosts, like, using a boost out of Origin to really, like, strengthen the team. But I think just holding 1 boost for the last round or the second last round could be massive. But I talked about it before that, like, it's all well and good to save, like, 2 boosts, but if you use all the trades, if you keep trading like I am at the moment, you're not going to have enough trades to even, like, make use of the boost. You might come to find out that you've got, like, not enough trades to actually use 2 boosts. So I don't mind the idea of using 2 boosts. So let's just for now let us do this. And I don't have to do it this week, so I could just hold the boost. But let's just say it all goes, I guess, to script. Fafita is in. I guess there's 2 things here, right? So do I prioritize getting in, like, a Fanua Blake or a fullback? And there is a guy. I mean, I'm not going to be able to afford him anyway with the boost, but let's just have a look. Who can I actually afford for Gagai? So 604, it's a bit of a tricky amount, honestly. Center wingers, there's not necessarily that many center wingers that I'm, like, that keen on. Yeah, especially for the price. I guess there's a couple of, like, yeah, even like a Brennan Hand, like there's some options, bro. Like Brennan, I didn't even think about Brennan Hands, but I think I decided that Brennan Hands, right, like, he is a great pickup this week. I won't deny that. But again, you don't have to pick up Hands this week. He's probably, like, with his break even and whatnot, I think he's tipped to make about 50k. It could be a bit more, could be a little bit less. So he might get up to, like, a bit over 300k, right? That's still a really good pickup. Like, it's still a really good pickup if he continues to play 80 minutes. And you get another good look at him to see if he's still looking good. And then you can make the decision to go, you go, like, Robson down to Brendan Hands potentially. You could do that. And still make, like, 300k, give or take, right? So you don't have to do it this week. Like, again, like I've said it plenty of times, but you don't have to fucking get everybody at their absolute highs and lows. Like, it's not... Oh shit! Apologies for the pause. I almost. Oh my. Oh, my hemi just went. Oh, I just got a cramp, bro. I had to stand up so quick. Oh, dude. Oh man, cramps are the absolute worst, bro. I can't imagine. I'm going off on a bloody tangent now, but I never really got cramps playing, like, footy and cricket and stuff, and I still don't really. It's just the odd time I'll get one, but man, players that, like, go through, like, bad cramps, fuck, they're like, it's nasty, man. It's nasty business. So if you've never, like, had a cramp and you watch, like, football players, like, go down with cramps and you see them carry on, bro, fucking just know it's not pleasant. But what was what was I talking about, bro? Yeah, Brendan Hines. That's what I was talking about. So I still don't mind the Hines pick up next week potentially. Don't think I have to get him this week. So Gagai. I mean, Jordan Rapiner. No. I guess we could. Well, actually, where is? There's a couple of cheapies on the potential, right? So you've got Lob. Where is Alex Lob? Is it Alex Lob, the Tigers player? Yeah, Alex Lob there. So potential cheapie on the horizon. So again, we could do like a little bit of a sideways trade from Gagai to Lob. But I guess that's the thing with Gagai is that he plays 16 and 19, so he could be a pretty good number for round 16 and 19 if he can just jag a couple of tries. So I don't know. Do I end up selling him? And then the other guy, where is? He's probably just fullback. The Hopewade for Manly. I'm assuming. Yeah, he must just be fullback only. So I guess another cheapie, but I've obviously got Gagai in the centre wing. Yeah, I mean, if I look at my centre wing now, like, so Garrick obviously will go up into the centre wing at some point, but Garrick, Young, Manu, Holmes, Kiraz, like they're locks. They're locks, I would say. I don't really expect to be trading those guys out for the rest of the season. You know, depending if I have another trade or I want to swing one of those guys, maybe. Kyle Ero, like, honestly, I'm happy enough to hold him for the season if I don't need to trade him out. But he is a guy that could go when he eventually peaks. And then Armstrong could go for sure. Like, I don't hate the idea of Armstrong going at some point. But again, if he maintains the fullback spot, like, I think you just hold him for now. So it's a bit of a tricky spot. But obviously, if Armstrong does lose his spot, he's at a decent price to get in somebody of note. So I don't mind it. Let's So how expensive is Latrell? Also, is Hopewade? Where is Hopewade? Yeah, there he is, Lehigh Hopewade. So yeah, just fullback. I mean, again, you could run a cheapie, but probably not. The fact he's only fullback is a little bit meh. Probably wouldn't want to do it. Also, Fletcher Sharp is just fullback only as well. So if he does get the spot, probably, yeah, also a bit meh. But let's have a look at the high price. So obviously Latrell, $757. He's gonna have a pretty low, 46 break even against the Titans. It's a good matchup. Honestly, it is a good matchup. I would like to get Latrell, but again, it does. If the New South Wales Blues lose, and you know, maybe Lomax has a bit of a shocker, or Suaalii doesn't perform, like, fucking Latrell's going to be... he's going to be... I would not be shocked to see him in Game 2. I'm hoping that, because it'll screw people over, but... Clint Gutherson. Unfortunately, I'm, like, just out from affording Gutherson. Honestly, if I could have afforded Gutho... I would have been very tempted to jump straight on him because he's $636. He is cheap as, and he's obviously like been out with injury. Like usually he he's you know, he doesn't miss many games, and usually this time of the year is like when he really goes off. So the fact he's missed a bunch of games, he might not have the same output over this bye period like he usually does. But man, oh man, like. Oh, if I could just afford him, I would actually really like it. He doesn't play 16, obviously, but plays 19 against the Titans. Very good. But You probably, I don't know, you probably don't want him for the run home. Like, I feel like someone like Latrell, I think you could have Latrell for the rest of the season if things go well. I think Gutherson, probably not. So, is that a good price? But I just can't quite make it work. But, yeah, that's pretty much that. I'll obviously... Well, it doesn't really matter who I have. But yeah, we'll just do it like that for now. So I think I'm a little torn. I'm a little torn on what to do because then on top, I'm actually, I gotta be honest, I am leaning towards selling Robson for Brennan Hands. Not this week. I think I still will wait a week on it, but I think next week I will do that trade. I know it's not the best because then Hands will have a bye in 16, but I still think it's a pretty good trade just because like it's gonna free up so much cash. I'm pretty stacked in terms of my team, but I still would like a bit of cash to spend. Getting in like a Fennell Blake is gonna cost a lot. Getting in like Latrell or someone else for Gagai is going to cost a bit. Even if we get rid of Armstrong, it's going to cost a bit. So I wouldn't mind having a little bit more cash to play with to make a couple of moves. So I do like the Brennan Hands play, and you could do it this week. You could, but I don't know if it's that necessary. Especially if Robson backs up. It's a bit silly to do it. Robson, he's only got a 58 break even. So I mean. He might lose a little cash, but he could make a bit. He could go pretty well if he does back up. You never know. So I think we'll hold it like that. I mean, I've got Fafita. Semi Finu was an absolute given. I just think he's an absolute given. And then Fafita is probably a given as well. But obviously it's a bit to dissect until we pull the trigger on Fafita, and it's just a matter of probably just hold Gagai, not use a boost. I don't think there's anyone I really want. If I could have afforded someone like a Latrell, I probably would have boosted for it, but I can't afford it. And then the front row, like I said, Fennell Blake is probably the target. But again, with fucking Joey Tarps, like, after his bye, like, Tarpany is not the worst. Like, fuck, he's starting to go fucking bonkers. I don't know. Does he keep it up? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm going to have a better look at his stats to see, like, what's changed. Obviously, the base is just well up. But, yeah, I'll have a quick squeeze because if you get, like, he's so good. Like, that's the thing that's been pissing me off about Tarpany. Like, he's far too good to be where he was. But, yeah, he could be a good pick. Like, he honestly could be a good pickup. Because the Warriors, like I said, the Raiders don't play, fuck, let's just have a quick, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. They're like, I think the Raiders play, what is it? 16. The Warriors only play 19, I think. Is that right? I know the Warriors play 16 and don't play 19. I think that's the same as the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders play 16. I think the Raiders play 16 and 17, and they play 20 after 19. The Warriors play 16 and 17, and so they're pretty much the same fucking bye coverage, which is honestly fine because it makes, like, if you want to save like 150k going Tarpany instead of Fennell Blake, I actually don't mind it. At all. I think that could be a pretty okay play. Like, obviously Tarpany coming off a big score, you're probably going to have to pick him up next week. Otherwise he's not going to get too expensive, but he's going to get, it won't be quite as worth it. So I think next week will be the time to pull the trigger if we want to do that. And I definitely don't hate it. Like, he's going to add a lot of like depth and just strength to our front row. That's for sure. But do we need it? I don't know. Do we? Do we need it? I mean, this week we're a little screwed this week. But it's still like, I don't know. I don't know if we really need it. And then the other thing I haven't talked about yet is fucking Nico Hines. So I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. So I could make I could make a fair bit of cash, and I could use a boost to trade out Nico Hines this week. Again, it depends. So, Origin is just making this an absolute, I don't know, it feels like Origin is just so much more up in the air than previous years in terms of like who's going to get selected for game 2. Like, I don't know, it just seems so much more like uncertain. But Nico Hines, we're assuming he's playing, right? Like, I'm assuming he is going to play. Obviously, he's not named a backup at all. So the Sharks have already given him the rest regardless. If the Blues win and Hines obviously plays well, then I think he is a trade out. If the Blues lose and Hines doesn't play necessarily that well, I think I'm just going to take the punt and hold him because, again, he doesn't play this game, but it's against the Bronx. It's not like an easy matchup anyway, so, it is what it is. Then he'll play the Dolphins. He'll miss 16 anyway, so it doesn't matter if he makes game 2 or not, I guess. But then, if they lose, I would expect that Moses would come in for Hines if they lose game 1. Maybe not. Maybe Madge will just be like, okay, we'll just run for this for the series. But who knows? Like I sort of in my heart, I'm like, I feel like they'll bring Moses in if Hines doesn't do particularly well. So then he'll play 15, 17, 18, 19, and look at the fucking draw. It's fucking Dolphins, Dogs, Titans, Tigers in the bye. Like, I mean, come on, that's pretty good. But again, if he does play well, even if the Blues don't necessarily win, but Hines plays pretty well, I probably will trade him out. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I just hope we get like some sort of like big confirmation either way from the first Origin. Like either he has an absolute shocker and it's like there's no way he's going to get picked, or he plays great and they're like, okay, he's obviously going to get picked. I still don't know what I'm going to do because it's still a 50-50. But if we trade him out, obviously we're going to make cash whoever we go to. And the question is who? Who do we go to? Because, I mean, Cleary's obviously injured. Burden has been 18th man. I don't think you wouldn't go Burden, obviously. Johnson, I wouldn't have hated going like a punt on Johnson, but obviously he's not playing. He's not back from injury. Moses, I would be tempted by Moses, but again, you could really fucking get bit if you trade Hines for Moses. Even if like Hines has a good game, who knows? Maybe they fucking bring Moses straight back in for game 2 and drop Hines. Like it wouldn't shock me. So you could get absolutely roasted if you do that. But I do love the Moses play. Walker, I don't know. You could wait a week and maybe you do bring in Walker because the Roosters still have a good bye coverage. Like they'll play 16 and 17, 18. They miss 19, but they'll play 20. Like it's still pretty good for the Roosters. Like I don't hate it. Like you could still maybe go Walker, maybe. We got Dylan Brown. Jerome Hughes obviously is probably the only other guy that is tempting. But I think I've already got Tyron Wishart. I don't really want to double up on the Storm halfback. So there's not that many that I'm like, absolutely keen on. I apologize as well. Like, I know I said Trindle was like a really good play. Hopefully people did not listen to me and go Trindle. He kicked goals, but fuck, he didn't do anything else. Like, he's got 25 points with like, I don't know, what did he get, like 4 goal kicks? Oh, fuck me. That was a bit of a disaster. I thought he'd be better. He's been pretty good in the past without Nico Hines, but you know, I wouldn't. I don't know. I'd expect a bit of a bounce back for Trindle, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, just yeah. Oh, so the cheapy Purdue who played centre wing, I thought he was a half, like coming through, but yeah, he's only a halfback on Supercoach. Like, fuck, I don't know. He's not going to keep the spot, obviously, but yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think for me, like, Hughes is good, but I think I would either go Moses or maybe Walker next week, but I don't know. I do like the Moses play. I'm not going to lie. I do like the Moses option, but fuck, he looked good. Like, in my mind, I'm like, does he come in straight for game 2? Maybe. Depends what happens, but I do like Moses. And yeah, we'd save we get like 300k from that trade as well, so that would free up a lot of cash to do some nice things. So I don't hate using a boost on Hines to get in a Moses. Other than that, we probably just do the 2 trades and hold obviously the boost. And yeah, work it out from there. But yeah, there's a bit to digest. There's a bit to unpack. I won't worry about doing captain vice captains in this video. We'll wrap it up here. Like I said, a bit of a shorter one. There's just a lot of uncertainties. We're obviously gonna do another preview pre-lockout discussion after Origin when we get more info on what it's looking like, and then we'll do like, yeah, I guess sit starts. We got a couple of sit starts, I guess, and captain vice captains for this week could be a little bit tricky as well, actually. So we'll dissect that in the next video. So hopefully, guys are enjoying the content. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.